The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. Join Bob Stewart and Chad Hyams to discuss strategies for real estate investment and team building with Craig Curelop. They have into the importance of speed to lead, creating consistent follow-up systems, and fostering a culture of investment within a real estate team. Craig highlights how investing in real estate can build long-term wealth and underscores the value of embracing effective team models. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast, presented by Brivity.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's another Thursday. I've got my friend Chad Hyams here, and I have Craig Curelop. Craig, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic, man. Thanks so much for having me on. And you said the name right.
I did. I got the name right. You're with the Phi Team.
2 for 2. Let's go.
Financial independence is where FI comes from in the Phi Team. I love that. Craig, do me a favor. I did get the names right, but as we do every Thursday here, can you introduce yourself to our audience so that they come away kind of understanding how you see yourself and how you want them to see you?
Yeah, of course. So name is Craig Curelop. I am the team lead of the Phi Team with EXP in place out of, we're in Denver and Idaho. And so our main thing is, of course, we help people buy and sell, but mainly a lot of it is invest in real estate. And so we coach, guide, and train a lot of our clients to, learn how to invest in real estate. And they're buying, recurring, multiple times a year, all that kind of stuff with us. And so it's been a fantastic business and we just absolutely love it.
How big's the team, Craig?
We've got 13 agents on our team now. And I think like 90% of them have at least one investment property. And if not, they're very much so on their way to getting their first investment property.
How many admin?
We've got one full-time person, an operations person in Colorado, and then we've got 2 VAs.
And how long have you been doing it?
I started the team in 2020. So
how long have you been in the industry, even before you started the team?
Like a few months before that. So
you came right into it and built a team right off the bat as we were going to COVID. You heard all that. All right. And the most important question, what the heck does it say in the painting behind you?
I actually have no idea.
He's at a coffee shop.
He's joining us. Shop.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea what that says. Okay. Your guys as good as mine.
So what's your coffee order then? Let's get the important thing. What's your standard go-to?
I'm just a straight black coffee guy.
Wow.
Yeah. I just like it. I just like it for how it is.
Thanks to Starbucks. I didn't know there were too many straight black coffee drinkers out there anymore. I figured
Starbucks is really hard to do with straight black coffee, but at a coffee shop where it's good, easy peasy.
Got it. All right. Yeah. Now, Bob, ask real questions. Now I'm out of the way now.
Starbucks coffee tastes burnt to me. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to or.
But the nitros are good at Starbucks.
Love it. So you said something in your intro. 90% of your agents own an investment property. It sounds like you're not just hiring like anybody that shows up who's like, "Hey, can we get on the team here?" Like you have some discernment in the type of agent that you bring on. Is that right? And has that always been the case? Let's talk about kind of your focus.
Or do you not have any criteria for the agents, yet you're going to drive, they only join because you're going to drive them to becoming wealth builders?
Talk about your kind of criteria around who you choose to partner with.
Yeah, honestly, Place has been a huge help in helping us filter out a lot of people. We used to accept everybody. We used to accept only people that had at least one investment property. And then we went to accepting everybody. But now we very much have an interview process. We have a screening process and all that. And if you're not willing to get down and dirty and do the work and get through launch and make the calls and do the open houses and like kind of live into our prospecting type culture, then we're not going to waste our time with you. Like we just don't want you on the team. And then I think like because so much of what we do is investment and we see like, hey, we can make money as an agent doing deals and all that kind of stuff. But also a lot of our agents are then working with investors and then we're always talking about investing on the team. It just kind of becomes infectious. And it's like, oh, you can get some passive income over here and build a real wealth. So we're not always just chasing the next deal, but we're like really building wealth for us. And we can go, we can go live our lives and not necessarily be real estate agents forever, unless we want to be.
So when you sit down with an agent, like in my head, are you just saying, look, there's a really high barrier to get in here and it's all these things and they're self-selecting out? Kind of talk me through that conversation you're having with an agent where you're like presenting to them the standards of what it means to join your team.
Yeah, so actually first my operation, I was the operator and operations mixed up. My operations person, Julie, she always has the first call with any sort of recruit that comes through. And she's got really great discernment and she knows the values of our team. We run through like the EOS thing too, where we've got our team values and all that. And if they don't align with our team values and we're like, hey, in the first 90 days, like you're going to be doing a lot of work. We put them through the exact launch program that place has. You're going to do 1,000 dial day. You're going to you're going to be door knocking. You're going to be doing all this stuff. Like, does any of this just scare you? And most of the time they say, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to do it anyway. And as long as they're willing to do it and they get through, then great. And then we basically just tell them, hey, if you can't make it through this 90-day program, we're just going to have to let you go. We're going to have to let you go. No harm with us. You're just not for our team. You're not fit for our team. And so basically when we kind of present them with that option, they either say, yeah, I don't want to do that. There's the door. Or I'm in. Let's go.
How many, like, what percentage just go, I'm good? Like, I thought real estate was like,
And before you answer that, Craig, what percentage never even get in, right? And say, no way. And then what percentage don't make it through kind of the initiation first 90 days?
I would say we probably have a 70 or 80% like we say no to. There's a lot of junk that comes through. I don't even know who they are, but like I just kind of see through the Brivity recruiter AI and whatnot, like who's coming through. And then of the people that come through, a lot of people are kind of down in game for, like they say they're going to do the work. And then we just say, hey, either as they go through that 90 days, usually they're like pretty good. I mean, we're not so strict where it's like, oh, you didn't do, you did 24 out of 25 of the showings or whatever, right? Like, but if they're putting a concerted effort in, they're showing up to our power ups every day. They're adding to our team culture and they're doing the work to do so. We're pretty much like, okay, we'll leave you as a spot on the team. Where we start to kick people off the team is if they take away from the culture. They're not like an abundant mindset. They're very much like to themselves. Or if they're like taking a lot of our energy, but not doing the work to get there.
Can you? Okay. Can you talk?
Careful, everyone. Bob's thinking.
Well, I'm looking through some notes here on some things that you guys do well.
What do you do? What's the one thing you do better than anybody else other than get all of your agents into the investing world? I know there's notes. I know Bob has them open. I don't usually have them open. I just wait to see where we're going with the call. What's the thing that if we talked about one thing today, Craig, it's that thing with you?
I think we're really good at speed to lead. We've really ingrained that into our agents. I'd say like on average, like our average is never over an hour. Usually it's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Somebody has like 3 hours because they were doing something. And then our average ends up being like 30 minutes over the course of like a week.
So how do you do it? I mean, I have my wife. I want to have time with my wife. I want to have time with my kids. I go to the bathroom, right? I do other things. What's your team system so that speed to the lead works? We just I wish I could say this. We don't do the round robin thing or anything like that. Like truly it's that person gets the lead. We've really ingrained it in the team that it's the most important thing. And then basically the way that we set it up is like, okay, you call it right away. If you don't call it within 24 hours, you're shut off of leads for a week. And that has had to happen a couple of times and we do enforce it, but mainly it's just like beating a dead horse with speed to lead and how important it is. Every time that a speed to lead works, like I don't care if they come in at 11 p.m. Like you call it at 11 p.m. Most of the time they're not expecting a phone call. They get one, they're super impressed with you, and then they're signing an agreement the next day, if not right there on the spot. And so oftentimes like we we share that win with the team, like, oh hey, by the way, we called them at 11 p.m. and this was fantastic and it worked. And so when you start to get a lot of those stories and stuff, people really understand the value of it. And we're like our team and our VA is on top of it too. So anytime a lead comes in, our VA will, they'll get the Brivity notification and all that. If the lead's not called within 5 minutes, our VA will be like texting them, hey, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. If you don't get an answer within this time, we may send it over to somebody else.
Okay. I mean, let me ask you a question. Cause Ben's always told us like we're the chief reminding officer.
Yeah.
And there's been times in my career where I've shown up with somebody and I know I'm going to say a thing to them that I've said 10 times before. And I think there's been times where I've second guessed myself, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to say that. They've already heard it from me 9 times. Can you talk a little bit about the mindset of being somebody that's okay with just saying the same stuff over and over and over again because you know it needs to be said more than once?
Yeah, it's really good. Honestly, I battled with that for a long time, but again, being part of place and hearing Ben remind us of the same thing over and over again, and me not getting annoyed hearing the same thing over and over again, because you just need to hear it. And especially when you look at the stats, right, where it's like, the stat probably better than me, but like 80% of leads or something convert on the 6th or 12th call. And so there's the follow-up piece too. I guess that's more the follow-up. But even there was that study done in Harvard where it's like, if you answer within the first 2 minutes, you have like a 90% chance of converting. 5 minutes, it's like a 50% chance of converting. And there's not much of a difference between 10 minutes and 2 weeks. So like that, we're like, well, if that's the most important thing, then if there's one thing we need to get really good at, let's make it be the most important thing. Right. And so that's speed to lead. And there's like, we've got countless stories of other agents that used to be on our team. And we've got a couple other lead sources where it kind of gets spurts out to a bunch of different agents. And so there's our team that gets it, and then also a couple other agents in our market. And that agent will call 10 minutes and that client will be like, oh, sorry, I'm already working with Craig on our team. It's like, how did you, I just got that lead. How did you talk to him? It's like, oh yeah, we called him within 2 seconds. And so, I mean, it's quicker than almost anything. So like that for sure is the most important thing for us.
All right. I want to put you in the seat, a hot seat here, because I want your take on this, right? Ben says many times, and I'm only quoting him because of course you've heard it and most of our listeners have probably heard from him. He used to always say, I'm sure he still says it, I haven't heard him say it lately yet. He used to always say that there's no sandwich worth $10,000. Right. So he would put the damn sandwich down. He would make the call. He would return the call because that sandwich isn't that good. Yet there's also the counter side of that, which is you have to have a life, right? I don't want my kids to think that the phone is more important than my kid. How do we balance that, Craig? I don't believe in balance yet. How do we balance that as you're leading your people so they know when to jump on that call in 4 seconds and when to say, I got to be with my kid right now?
So I think there's an expectation that you've got to stay with your family. You chose to be a realtor, and so there with that becomes like you're very flexible. Like you're always on, but you're always off, right? I can go and do a podcast with you Thursday at 10 a.m. or whatever time is it where you're at, right? But also on a Saturday at 2, I might have to take a quick call. And so what we tell our agents is that when that person calls right away, that is not a 30-minute phone call. That is a 2-minute phone call max. It's like, hey, thank you so much for calling. I just saw that you reached out on our website to do Denver Homes. I'm about to hop into another meeting, or I'm busy right now, but I just wanted to call real quick and set up a time with you to chat later when I'm in front of my computer and I can take notes and I can be truly present with you. How does Thursday at 4 work for you? Right. And so the conversation is you're not having a whole conversation at this time. It's just set the appointment in 2 minutes.
I love that. And folks, listen to that script. Because some people will say, oh, I don't want to take the call because my wife's going to look at me funny, or I don't want my kids to think, or I'm doing something else. Yet when you have a script that good, you're making the connection, you're having them heard, and you're giving them a reason to speak with you later. Set the appointment for tomorrow when you're going to be at your computer, or later that day when you're going to be at the computer. Now they're not necessarily running around calling anybody else because they know they have an appointment with you, because you did take the 2 minutes and you don't have to make it a 20-minute conversation. That's a powerful point, Craig.
And you have to remember, like, these people want to talk to you. They're on your website. They just filled out the form with the number. Like, that's the best time to get them, right? You're not just calling someone out of the blue.
That whole concept of like, they gave us their phone. They could put anything in there. They could have put a fake one, and we get those sometimes, right? But like, they put their phone number in there, and you think they didn't want you to call? Like, they knew what was coming. Something else you said there, I think, really lands with me. I had to have the conversation that you're talking about having with your family. Like, I have to have it every once in a while with my boys. My son will get frustrated on a Saturday, Chad. He'll be like, Dad, it's Saturday, and I'll say to him, son, remember, one of the reasons I'm able to come pick you up every day from school and drop you off every day from school, like I have this incredible amount of flexibility. It sometimes requires that I have to take a phone call on a Saturday, right? And so there is this give and take, but I think you have to enlist, Craig, we got to enlist our family and our kids in these things, right? Otherwise that will create friction if you're just, hey, sorry, got to take this call. If you're not kind of laying it out, by the way, I don't just say that once to my son. I have to say that multiple times to my boy. And eventually he goes, okay, I get it, Dad. It's Saturday, but you were there yesterday picking me up from school at 2:30.
And maybe even, we don't have kids yet, but like, maybe it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm sorry, son, real quick, I'm going to go take this phone call. You go take the phone call. It's 2 minutes to set the appointment. And then you go back to your son. Oh, Dad's got an appointment. We just set that on 3 p.m. And now we're going to go, we got an opportunity to make 10 or 20 grand. Now we can go to that baseball tournament. Totally. Just like, get them in the business with you because they're absorbing all of that. And I'm sure you want your kid to work as hard, if not harder than you someday. So
100%.
Yeah, someone's got to support me.
Yeah. It ain't easy.
Can you, so I know one of the things that I kind of love to see in the notes here was this idea that you guys are like manufacturing more reasons to call into your database. Mm-hmm. And I think just the reason your team exists for financial independence, that's the name of the team. And you guys are always thinking about how can we help the people in our database become real estate investors. I would assume there's a bunch of reasons. Can you talk just for a second about like more reasons to call?
Yeah. Well, again, like all the resources that Place provides are amazing, right? Where it's like, we've got market reports on everybody with an email. We've got listing alerts for everybody with an email. Like we just go through what you guys have set up for us and like, we just do it, crazy concept. But anytime someone's opening a market report or listing alert, obviously, we're calling them. We've got a newsletter. We send out deals of the week. People will open those and we might ask them, hey, what'd you think of that deal? Or reason to call. We've got resources like investment calculators and all that kind of stuff. People download those, give us their number, and then we'll give them a call, give them all that kind of stuff. We've got events. So we throw a meetup every week. Every first Wednesday of the month, we're throwing our team meetup every week. And then one of our agents throws a meetup about 2 weeks after that. So basically at any point in time, there is.
Are these like investor meetups?
Yeah, they're investor meetups. Usually one of them is an investor meetup where we're at a bar, there's a presentation, and then there's a bunch of networking. One is more informal, just like networking and stuff like that. And then we also throw some other random events throughout the year. So at any point in time, we are a maximum of 2 weeks away from the next event. So anybody in your sphere that you want to call, just invite them to the next event. Like it's the most easy, not salesy, least sleazy thing that you can do. And
by using Brivity, you're also being notified to call the ones who open their market report, open the listing alerts, open the newsletter that you've sent through the system, whatever it's going to be. Folks, hear that, because so many of you complain with, well, I don't know what to say. What that means is, first of all, you're calling the same 20 people again and again and again. They're just sick and tired of hearing from you. That's the first challenge. Second, there's never a question of what to say. Craig just showed you how easy it is. If you did a meetup on the first and third week of every month for networking, you always have a reason to call someone to invite him to the next one or thank him for being at the last one, on top of the other stuff that Brivity's telling you. Craig, you're taking a lot of complicated excuses from people, and I love seeing you've got great, simple answers that, folks, if you would adopt out there, you'd get out of your own way.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a reason to there's always a reason to call. So especially a client that right? Hey, where are you at in the home buying process? Oh, hey, how's the home that you just bought? Like, tell me about especially on an investment, tell me about the numbers. Did it work out as planned? Like any resources you need, whatever, right? Like you're always constantly, constantly updating. But one thing too is you call, even like when you go through your deal, we call it the Dilby, day in the life of Brivity. You go through that and you might call your 10 or 15 hots and maybe 3 of them answer. So what do you do the next day? You wait a week to call the 10 people that didn't answer? No, you just call them again the next day. And by the time you called all of them, it's the new week and you got to call those other people again. Right. And so we're just always we're filtering for okay, maybe we called our 80 listing alert people, but only 6 answered. So you still got 74 other people to call again. right?
Yeah.
And so we filter for like the unanswered people too. And you can literally do your 5,000 challenge with like probably 2,000 names in your CRM, just calling people that didn't answer.
The investment angle to me is like so rich because look,
Everybody wants it.
Yeah. I think there's very few people that if you said, hey, one day would you like to be an investor in real estate? That would be like, no, not me. Right. So like everybody wants it, to Chad's point. The other thing I think is most of us run in like social circles that have similar financial ranges, right? Like that's just a cold hard reality, I think, of the United States. Most of us, have friends, work in jobs, live in communities where a lot of us have similar financial capabilities, which means, Craig, if I'm your client and I'm an investor, there's a pretty decent chance that my friends are capable of being investors as well, right? Like when you guys, how do you tap into, like you've got all these clients that are investors, how do you go beyond that and get to their friends to help them become investors? Is that a part of your strategy?
Yes, and we've just starting to get a lot better at that. But the one thing is the events, right?
Yeah.
So hey, bring a friend, invite, like whatever. There's always that piece. We're just now starting to implement like a little bit more of a warmer touch, like with with a nicer closing gift and and basically we just ask them at every point of the process of where vibes are high, right? Like you go under contract. Hey, like so awesome! Congrats on going under contract. By the way, like which one of your friends also wants to do this? Like, can you make an introduction? Like, they don't even need to be ready, but just make the introduction. We'll do the rest, right? Take all that pressure. A lot of your clients don't want to waste your time so they don't introduce you to people that they don't think are ready to invest or are ready to go. But that's our job, right? Our job is to get them ready to go. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm deep into real estate, up to my eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Still, if somebody called me today and was like, hey, there's this opportunity out there. Maybe it's not your listing, Craig. You called some guy and he's like, I don't know, I'd probably sell this thing, but I got a bunch of remodeling to do. Like you're just like, okay, I got this deal. Like I think if I had somebody that could come in, if somebody called me and said, hey, I might have a deal for you. It's going to require 150,000 cash down. It's a $30,000 rehab, but it would be like, I'm eyeballs deep in real estate, but if that just came out of nowhere on me, I might be a buyer, right?
Yeah.
And I think like that proactive approach to trying to turn people into a real estate investor who are sitting there thinking, I'd do this, but man, I don't have the time. I'm an attorney. I'm a doctor. I don't have the time to go find a property. But if Craig showed up on a platter and was like, hey, I got an opportunity for you, I just think there's a massive amount of power in that. And you do that, you've been doing it for 6 years, right? This starts to build on itself.
Oh yeah, I mean with investors, I mean it's huge because as you start getting more off market opportunities, they start to just remember you. You're just there, like you're available. You're the real estate guy. So when they have a real estate problem, they just go to you. So I think that's huge too. If you want to become a real estate investor, maybe you've got more than one way to make money, right? It's just not the commission. It's, oh hey, do you want to partner on this deal? And like, hey, I'm gonna take a cut for buying and selling, of course, right? But like, I'll manage the whole thing for you. I'll buy the deal. I got the contractors. I'll renovate the whole thing for you. All I need is the capital. Write me the check. You do nothing else. And at the end of this project, I'm going to split everything with you 50-50. I'm going to take 25K. You're going to take 25K. All you got to do is write a check and you're going to get 25K in 6 months. Right.
So good.
So
good.
So yeah, you can think a lot more creatively when you come from the investment perspective. And then also you get a lot more good deals. And then those,
I want to ask you a question. That's just the whole time I've been thinking long-term investment. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as we talk about it, I was like, oh, everybody owns rentals, right? How much of your investment business is long-term that you're working with people to develop? And then how much of it is the shorter term, the find flip opportunities that are there? Is it 50-50?
No, most of the stuff that we do is long-term hold, but that's just us. Like, that's just what I like. Like, I just, the Kool-Aid that I drank when I got into real estate investing was like, buy everything, sell nothing. So like, it wasn't that, but I've got friends that do this too. And they're very much on the like, hey, let me buy it. Like, let me look through all the different ways that we can do it. We could wholesale it. We could buy it. We could list it. We could like there's a million different ways that you can just like build wealth in real estate when you've got the deal and you've got a network of people that have money.
And now I'm going to ask the logical question that I'm really going to hope the answer is a yes. If not, change the subject. You're running a property management service as well, so that you're there to help them run these properties for another income stream for you, correct?
Yes.
Or do you want to talk about
yes.
that painting on the wall behind you?
We want to talk. So what we do is we run a co-living management service. And so in Colorado right now, getting a property, putting 20% down and renting it out like a single family home is difficult. And so I partnered with someone where we basically buy larger single family homes, add 8 to 10 bedrooms to those homes, and then we rent it out by the room. And that way you're getting an 8 to 12% cash on cash return in a market like Denver, where it's also appreciating like crazy. Well, maybe not right now, but it has tendencies to appreciate like crazy. So,
okay.
Yes.
Love it. I got one last thought that maybe we'll wrap up with. We have a philosophy here at Place that Place is a model, not a menu. And there's a lot of things that are a part of the model. But I'm curious from your team and over the last couple of years as you've started to really adopt the models here at Place, what's one model, or maybe two? We could talk about more than one, but what has been a model or two that has really kind of impacted, let's just profitability at the end of the day for you? Like, I know we can get more deals and whatever, but like, what's been a model that as a team owner that's impacted your profitability the most, do you think?
I think it's going to be the agent launch program and like the screening criteria that goes basically using that as a litmus test to like, are you in, are you out? And just not wasting our time with people that we know in the back of our minds aren't going to do any deals, but we're too nice to say no. It removes us from having to be mean. Just can't do it.
Just there's a standard. We hold the line on the standard. We push people through that program, which is the model essentially. Like, what does an agent do in their first 90 days of joining our team? I mean, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a really good one, because I think the headaches it probably saves you that you don't even like. Here's the thing. When you start to adopt those models, what happens, you don't even realize the headaches that you're saving yourself from sometimes, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I just look back like before Place, who we had on our team, how much time they were taking up, how many deals they would do, you would laugh at us that we even gave them a chance. Because like I don't know, we try to be nice, right? We we think everyone's got a chance, right? But then when you've got these standards in place, it's just game over. And that by far that's the number one thing.
Craig, I'm gonna end this early. I think that's a good place to end. You've been kind enough with your time. You are, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you are in Indiana. You're there for a friend of your wife's wedding, which is this weekend. Is that right?
Yep, Saturday.
Awesome. Well, I hope that you checked with your wife to make sure it was okay for you to take this time.
He's getting a coffee. Leave him alone, Bob.
He snuck out of the house to the coffee shop.
She's next to me enjoying a coffee of her own. So.
Okay, awesome. Please tell me she's not also a black straight coffee drinker, is she?
She'll deviate a little bit more than me, but she likes it. She likes it that way too.
She likes black coffee too. Look at you guys, a match made in heaven. You guys don't need any creamer or sugar in your house. It's amazing.
She's sweet enough, you know.
I love
it. Close it on that, Bob.
Yeah. That's it. I can't say there's nothing better to be said than that. Craig, have an amazing wedding, man. Enjoy your weekend with your family there. And again, thanks for taking the time to chat with us about how models and consistency are important in your real estate business. But find a niche. And a really good one is working with investors. Craig, appreciate you, my friend. Have a great afternoon.
Bob, Chad, thanks so much for having me on. We'll talk soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye. We'll see everybody next week.